We go out to Vancouver now. We got Rick Campbell with us, the head coach of the BC Lions. And Rick, thanks for sitting through all of that. I appreciate it. How are you doing out there on the West Coast?
Doing okay. Yeah, getting adjusted to not playing football. You know, this should be one of the biggest weekends of the regular season coming up, with it being Labor Day. So that's a little weird, but we're doing okay out here.
Well, they say it's the unofficial kickoff to the season, as you know, when the rest of Canada wakes up that the CFL's playing. Have you accepted that there's no season yet, or is this still kind of a punch in the gut that you're not playing this weekend?
It's a little bit of a punch in the gut. I think I'm still getting used to it, even though you knew it was definitely a possibility that the season could be canceled. But until you actually hear the news, I think it's a little bit different. So definitely different. I've been in the CFL. I've not taken a break in this league since 1999. So whatever math that is, 21, 22 years or whatever that is, I've been used to just going, and I've never sat out a season or taken a break. So this is uncharted territory for me personally.
I've heard you refer to yourself as a CFL lifer, of which there are many, Rick, and that's when this is a double punch to the gut. But we're trying to stay positive here. I want to put a smile on your face. Yeah. You heard us earlier say, John Frenzy called the games when your dad played for the Riders. Did you hear that story? John, talk about that, by the way, calling Hugh Campbell's catches. This is great.
One of the great Labor Day games, your dad caught 2 touchdown passes, great catches. And I said, just great catches, like Hugh Campbell, just fantastic. And he called me up the day later when I was at the park. He said, why did you say that? I said, well, you made 2 great catches. He said, they weren't there, nothing routine at all. The ball was thrown right there. You didn't need to do that. I said, yes, I did. You are a great football player. He said, thank you very much.
Does that sound like your dad?
That's the last thing we need in the world, is him being told how great he is. So we right. He sounds like a coach, right? Don't pump up the players too much. Don't let them know how they're doing. So
right, exactly. Or never. Yeah, sorry, or never satisfied, right?
Or never get too emotional. Or never get too emotional, Rick.
Yeah. So
exactly.
Speaking. One of the first things I thought of when I heard Henry Burris was sticking with the Chicago Bears staff yesterday was you. You coached Hank in Ottawa, of course. You've been around this coaching game forever. I've just felt that Henry, since he retired, was missing something, and I think it was football. I really do. I think this will fill his cup.
When the whole thing happened in Ottawa last year, we had our offensive coordinator leave pretty late in the game as far as going into the season. I actually talked to Henry about coming in and taking on a role. And you got to be slightly crazy. I say this a little bit in jest, but you got to be slightly crazy to get into football coaching. It's a rewarding job, but it's crazy. And I think he was definitely thinking about it. You can definitely tell he loves the game. When he played at quarterback and I got to work with him in Ottawa, you really got to see how much he loves the game and how interested he is in it. And I thought he could do a great job. And, I tried to get him to come in that year. And I just don't think he was quite ready for it, which I understand that he was transitioning out of football. And I'm glad to see that he's staying in there and giving it a shot in Chicago. He'll do great at it.
Oh, I've always said Henry will be good at whatever he does, right? Smart guy, talented guy, and a hard worker. What else is there? But I got to ask you this, Rick. You're so connected in the football world, the coaching world. I was chatting with Mike Kelly the other day where he said the NFL coaching is so much more intense than CFL. Mike's coached in both leagues, but I think there's still only 24 hours in the day. What the CFL's become, I don't think it's a lot different than the NFL in terms of time required, or have I missed the boat?
I agree with that. I think times have changed over the years. I think if you want to win in pro football, whether that's the NFL or CFL, you better be all in. And you better evolve with the times, and it takes a full effort to get it done. It's extremely competitive. The thing about pro football is the talent level is usually pretty much the same. It's very similar. Obviously, there's certain good players on certain teams, and obviously an elite quarterback can make a difference. But you really have to have the players prepared, and then everybody's got to be all in to win. And it's you can look at any game. You can look at Saskatchewan last year, how close it was for them. So it really comes down to a game of inches. And I think I think if you want to be a full-time professional football coach, there's a lot of people that want to be in this business and do this job, and so you better stay on top of things, or you will get passed by.
Rick, we're out of business right now. Hopefully we can come back next year. Everybody's saying in Regina, and I'm sure across the league, we got to get back in 21. Looking forward to football. Really miss it. I'm talking to a lot of people who are split that think we won't be able to make it in 21. I know one right now. How do you feel about it? Do you think we're definitely going to get back next year and things will be okay?
I do. I honestly, this year I didn't know. You just didn't know with the information changing week to week and all that. And obviously, I'm not a doctor. I can't forecast world pandemics. But I think it's good that we're going to see the CFL or the NFL play. Some of college football is going to play. I think we're going to get some answers on how sports is going to work and how it's not going to work. And I'm going to be an optimist and say that we're going to go. I'm a big believer. I've not heard from one person from the powers that be that they want to shut down the league or want to give up on this thing. I think 2020 is going to be viewed as obviously a very different year in many ways. But I think the people, like I said, the powers that be want this league to go in 2021. And like I said, I think either there's going to be some type of vaccine or whatever like that, or else the world's going to continue to have to adapt to keep living and adapt to what's going on, because you can't just stop. So I'm like I said, this is just my personal opinion. I'm pretty confident the league will play in 2021, and I'm confident that the league will bounce back from it.
Some fun questions here, by the way, if you don't mind. The beautiful thing about digital broadcasting, we can see, Rick, where the viewers are, and they just spiked in Vancouver. And some of those are in your office. Matt Baker with the Lions front office wants to know if you've broken 45 minutes on Grouse Mountain yet. How close are you?
45 minutes, that's not going to happen. So I didn't realize what the grouse grind was, but it's almost about a 3,000-foot vertical thing, and I didn't think I was going to make it the first time. So I've done it 3 times so far, and I'm just trying to get under that hour mark. So I know Vancouver from visiting here and all that stuff, and been here several times over the years. But it's been pretty interesting to actually live here and be here full time and get to see what's around the city, because it's pretty remarkable. I know people know how beautiful it is here, but it's really ridiculous. The mountains and the creeks and the lakes and the water and all that stuff is pretty amazing.
Well, like you say, it's amazing for a visitor. And once you get to know the lay of the land, I can't imagine what's behind the corners. I remember having a steak with Ken Miller at that keg downtown on Burrard, I think. It doesn't exist anymore, but Kenny's like, I love it out here. I'm like, as a landlord, like he is. Yeah, it's so great. By the way, Brian Warishin from the Lions Den podcast watching, and he goes, I'm really disappointed I won't get to see Rick coach in 2020. We can go over that. It felt like some really cool things were bubbling with the Lions this year. You fine-tuned your roster a little bit, Rick. Like, that part sucks, because I thought you guys were going to have a big year.
I did too. I really did. I thought it was going to be tough, but I thought there's a veteran group of guys here that I think are really good players, and they lost a couple really tough games last year. The ones that stand out to me is the game in Calgary, where Calgary had to get an onside kick and do those things. Then the game in Hamilton too, where they were up late. So I think they were really close, and just adding some guys that we did in free agency and then drafting some guys, I thought there was no reason that we can't go and compete with anyone. I've also been really excited about our staff, the coaching staff too. I think it's a group of experienced guys, but also some hungry guys that are trying to work their way up. And so I'm hoping we can do whatever we can to keep as much of this together, the coaching staff and the players, and try to give it a shot. And it's also it's good for me to be somewhere new where I obviously know the BC Lions and respect the tradition and Wally and everybody that's been here. But I'm just really excited about trying to get out there and do it. And I just remember the days of the Lions of I played several playoff games as the visiting team where I know I was in BC Place and it was so loud we couldn't hear our snap count. Just stuff like that. So I know there's a fan base here, and I know a lot of people care for the Lions, and I want to be a part of winning here.
Well,
awesome.
In my broadcast days, the park was always packed, 35, 40,000. If the crowd was under 30,000, it was a disaster. It was a disaster. We had to find out what's going on. So the fans are there. Do you think you can get them back, or is it going to take a super winning team to do that, or both?
My number one job is to be a part of putting a winning product on the field, which we want to do. And I know the TV numbers, you guys would probably know better than me, but I know like when the Lions are playing on the road, the TV numbers in the Vancouver area are very good. So there's a good fan base. I think it's a matter of getting people to come downtown, to come downtown to a game and make it, fun to go to a Lions game. I know there's a hardcore group of fans here. I've met a lot of them. And I don't think I just can't believe that that's totally gone away. Like you said, those days of 35, 40,000 or more at playoff games. I was a part of it on the visiting sideline, and it was really a tough place to play here. So I think we just got to do the right things on the field, like I said, which is my job, and off the field of staying positive and knowing that this can be a good place for CFL football. And that's what we're going to try to do is build some momentum.
Well, Lynch is talking about Empire Field, right? And right, and the 1966 Grey Cup, he was there.
Yeah.
I called games in.
I was not even born yet.
Yeah, exactly. 04 and 06, I called games with 55,000 people at BC Place, and it was sold out. I thought, "What? This is unbelievable. This is the CFL at its best." And it was in Vancouver. And by the way, last one. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say the other thing that was cool that maybe you guys remember is when the Olympics were going on. And remember they built the portable field out by the CNE grounds.
Yeah,
Tempire Field.
That was sold out every game. I remember playing there, and that was 2011 or 12 or something in that range.
10 and 11, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome too.
That was great. It was rocking. Last one. The gentleman, Lorne, in Kamloops, wrote me with all the numbers of opt-outs by team. Saskatchewan leads with 25 players opted out. Montreal's got the fewest at 2. You guys have 5. Is that a coincidence, those numbers, or is there a reason? What's your read on this?
I don't know what exactly to read on that for sure. I know I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but part of this is for guys is if they're under contract, they're going to come back to the CFL team they're with. So it's like that window that happens usually at the end of a season where guys could have a chance to work out. I think especially younger guys, like why not have the chance to be open to the NFL and then you can just come back and play. So I don't know how to read that whole thing yet. I know it kind of looks weird, kind of looks bad when you think a guy's opting out of like trying to get out, but the guys I've talked to don't look at it that way. Like our kicker, Sergio Castillo, he's 29. He's got a baby on the way. He's like, I want to play in BC, and he's under contract with us. But he's like, I'm just going to leave this window open in case an NFL team comes calling and I can earn some paychecks. And I can't excuse it. I mean, how can you? It makes sense to me. And I know that he's totally excited to come back here. If the NFL doesn't come calling for him, he's totally coming back to BC. So I think a lot of guys are in that boat of they're just trying to earn money in football and take care of themselves and their families. And I think they still love playing in the CFL.
Just a quick last one from John O'Flynn watching in North Vancouver right now. He says, for Rick Campbell, it's a quick one. Who you got tonight? Canucks or Golden Knights?
I don't know. The Canucks seem like a little bit of a team of destiny. They keep fighting back. I know they were down 3-1 in this series, and now they've got it back 3-3. So I'll be rooting for them and rooting for the Vancouver teams, and hopefully they can keep going. I know they're the last Canadian team going, and I think it'd be good for this city to have them keep them rolling along.
Absolutely. Rick, thanks for the chat. Always appreciate the time, and hope to see you soon out there. Stay safe.
Thanks very much, Rick.
All right. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend.
You too, sir. Rick Campbell, head
Nice,
coach
yeah.
of the British Columbia Lions, joining us from the Lions facility. And coach of the year, Grey Cup champion, just an all-around good guy.
Yeah.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.